I feel a bit an idiot, to be honest. On this channel, I've been preaching about how you should never buy a new van and you don't need to spend thousands of pounds on a van for it to be decent, blah, blah, blah. £500–600 a month for a van? You must be joking. An idiot. However, my most recent experience on Marketplace was a disaster. There's £1,500 worth of work there. If you never came to get this, I was going to the police. Luckily for me, I managed to get my money back from that chap that tried to scam me with an absolutely wrecked Ford Ranger. By the way, I don't know why I'm sporting the Elvis look here, so just bear with me. And it's such a lovely evening. I thought we'd go for a wee wander and talk about this. But so yeah, the footage that you just saw, the Iveco's dead. It's dead. And you know, it's quite a scary story because it actually died when I went to collect the hobby caravan. And if you cast your memory back, you may remember that when I went away up to Peterhead to pick up a free hobby caravan. So of course, the Iveco was bought to be the perfect workhorse to go and collect and deliver stuff like that. So off I went. But the scary part about it is I had my daughter with me and it was a beautiful day and we drove all the way up to Peterhead, which is about an hour away from here. Got there early doors, met the woman on the farm, got the caravan all ready, hooked it up onto the van, got my daughter back in the van and we were ready just to go when suddenly the tyre exploded. The front tyre on the van, sorry, on the right hand side, driver's side, exploded. So obviously I got out and I'm like, man, for whatever reason, I don't have a spare tyre for it. So that was it, panic stations. What the hell am I going to do? I don't have a spare tyre. It's a Sunday. I'm going to have to pay a premium. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, after a bit of investigating, it turned out the tyre had actually exploded because the suspension arm, or the top mount of the suspension, had come away from the unibody and spun round and speared the tyre right in the sidewall. And as I went down to look at this, I could see that the entire suspension system on that driver's side had come away from the unibody due to complete and utter corrosion and then collapsed. And that's why, as you can see, you know, the van's collapsed on itself and the wheel has completely collapsed on itself. So it was a frantic couple of hours trying to organise a recovery truck to come and get it and to get me and my daughter back home and whatever else. But in further investigation, I'm going to swap hands here. But in further investigation, that van most likely shouldn't have been on the road. The corrosion underneath is beyond me. And yet again, that's another one that had a full year's MOT on it. Or by that time it wasn't a full year. It was probably about 8 months, but still had the MOT on it. And this is the issue that you've got when you're buying these older vehicles. Now I can go on my channel and preach about don't buy a new van and you don't need to spend £10,000–15,000 on a van, blah, 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 like I've already said. And that, to an extent, is true, right? But in doing that, you're putting yourself in danger. Or you're putting yourself at risk of buying an absolute turkey. And that Iveco was my first attempt. Then I went for the Ford Ranger. That was my second attempt. And there was another attempt that I haven't documented or filmed, which involved a Ford Transit pickup truck. And that ended up being a disaster. So it's 3 attempts to buy a work vehicle from Marketplace on the cheap. And none of it's worked out. So you tell me in the comments, what's the answer? Because I'll be honest, I don't want to be buying a 10, 15, 20 grand van. Do not want to be tied down to a finance payment every month. It's just not what I want. But what's the answer? There must be decent vehicles out there. There must be. But the problem is when you're buying a work van, you know, like a Ford Transit or an Iveco or whatever it is, right? If you're spending 2 grand, 3 grand on it, they're absolutely done in. I mean, they are battered to death. They get used, they get abused. It's rare for a Ford Transit to be manicured by a builder. You know, They just get flung around. People don't care. They're absolutely butchered. And then when it's time for you to buy it in the second-hand market or 10th-hand market, it's done. It's absolutely done. And this is where we're at. And that Iveco had served many lives. It'd been around the world. A mother and daughter had converted it into a camper van, sorry. They'd converted it into a camper van, put this weird cut-out window on the side, and put these weird hippie stickers on the side, and the van had, you know, been everywhere. It'd been absolutely everywhere. So by the time it got to me, it'd already changed hand another couple of times. And who knows what's happened to it there. I'm not convinced that the guy that sold it to me had a proper MOT put in it, because when you look underneath it, it's just so corroded. It's just turning to dust. And that's what made that really scary about that encounter, or that situation with Iveco when I went to collect that hobby. Because can you imagine if that suspension collapsed when I was towing that caravan along the, you know, the dual carriageway? Even better thinking about. Lucky for me, it collapsed where it did. We were stationary, and it collapsed there. But these are the risks that we're taking buying these old vans. And you know, I've watched many videos on YouTube, guys like myself, you know, preaching the, you don't need to spend thousands of pounds in a van. And you know, to be honest, in a couple of the videos I've done about it, you guys have commented, you know, agreeing with me. So I'm not saying that I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right either though, because at this precise moment, I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. Now, I'm in business. Business is doing well. Business is scaling up. And while it's not my full-time income, although it's exceeding what my full-time income is, I just want to make sure that that business is completely kosher before I step away from my full-time job. And one of the ways to do that is to bank all the cash that comes in, to make sure I've got that cushion, to make sure the business has got money, and to make sure that I've got money, just in case there's any tough months. So I don't want to be dipping into that, taking out money to go and buy a van or putting a huge deposit down the van, which is, again, just a waste of money. It's a complete waste of money. So the van's dead, guys. The van is dead. What is happening here? All these cars. What are these boys doing? Do you know, this is a private estate. We've obviously got the castle there that you can see, and our house is just up the hill there, right? But I don't understand what this is, unless, is there a show tomorrow? Sometimes the castle, they put on shows like car shows and stuff, but they don't look like the kind of cars that become their show. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, back to the subject. The Iveco's dead. It's down at the caravan yard. It's sitting there looking very sorry for itself. I haven't done anything with it. It can't be fixed. I mean, it could be, right? But I don't think it's financially viable. And there's a lot of welding involved. The engine itself has done 200,000 miles. Is it worth it? Is it worth spending a fortune on it to get it back in the road? Don't know. Probably not. Probably not. So it's down there, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. Am I going to part it out? You know, I don't want to scrap it, because I'll just get, well, whatever scrap value is just now, probably a couple £100 for it. It's definitely worth more than that in parts. I mean, the thing is, it's got, well, it did have 4 brand new tyres on it. It's got 3 brand new tyres on it. So they're worth money. It's got new light clusters on the back. They're definitely worth money. There's always people looking for the seats. You know, the bench seats at the front, the driver's seat. People want to use them to make crew cab vans, or to add additional seats into their camper van. Yeah, so there's money to be made on it, definitely. But I just haven't touched it. I've been too busy to even think about it, honestly. But yeah, so there we are. So it's back to the drawing board for me. But what I'm going to do, and you know, I have a perfectly good functioning vehicle. You'll have seen it in many of the videos, if not all the videos, when we're doing a salvage or a recovery, and it's my little Ford Tourneo. or Ford Grand Tourneo Connect. And you know, that wee van's never missed a beat. Never missed a beat. It's only got a wee 1.5 diesel engine, and I believe it's a Renault engine. Just a wee 1.5 dry belt, thankfully. Ford didn't make these little ones with the wet belts. But you know the thing that really frustrates me about the Ford Tourneo? It's only got a max towing capacity of 1400 kg. Why make a van that size and make it so it can't even pull the skin off a rice pudding? It doesn't make sense. So I can pull little 2-berth caravans with it and things like that, but once you start getting into, you know, 4-berth, 6-berth, twin axle like the Abbey, forget it. So the Tourneo is great for, you know, trips up and down to the yard. It's a great little workhorse, loads of room in the back. It moves parts around, it moves stuff around the yard, it gets me where I need to go every time. But it's just not capable of doing what I needed to do. And I need a vehicle that's just going to start every day, hitch on what it needs to hitch on, take it where it needs to go, without grumbling, without moaning, and without me worrying about the busies pulling me over because I'm over towing capacity or I'm going to cause myself an accident. And this is where we're at. By the way, I don't know if you can see, but I'm limping here. I really hurt my foot 2 weeks ago. Absolute idiot. When I was, oh, it doesn't even matter. Do you know what I mean? We've all done it. I kicked something really hard, and I've been limping for the best part of 2 weeks. So that's fun. Yay. So yeah. So there you go. That's where we're at. I just thought I'd bring you up to date where we are in the van situation and just show you the footage of that absolute monstrosity of a wheel collapsed on itself. So dangerous, really disappointing, but hey, that's life, isn't it? And if you cheap out, you pay for it in the long run, don't you? So I'm heading back to the house. I'm going to stick a pizza on. Tell me in the comments, if you've made it this far, nobody's probably watching now anyway, but if you've made it this far, tell me in the comments, what would you do? Would you say, Alan, it's time, 3 times you've lucked out, stop being a cheapskate, get a finance deal, put a deposit down, get a nice big van, get a big Land Rover, get something? Or would you tell me, stick to my guns, one will come along eventually? Really interested to know. We're building a real community here, by the way, guys. I absolutely love the engagement that these videos get that I do. Again, I say it every time, probably sound like a broken record, but never in a million years would I have expected this channel to take off the way it has. You know, we're well over 2,200 subscribers now. The comments flow freely. There's always people getting in touch. I'm always getting emails. And the interest and the encouragement I get from everybody is fantastic. So I really appreciate that. So whatever you write in the comments, I'm really interested to hear. Oh, I thought someone's come behind me there. So yeah, and listen, if you've not subscribed, subscribe. The analytics tell me that only 20% of people that watch these videos are subscribed. The other 80, not subscribed. Why is that? Who knows? Anyway. Oh, honestly, that is exhausting. I'm going to get in and get something to eat, get this video uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.